What's going on, good people, man? This is your boy Small Soldier right here, back in action once again. This time here, want to talk with you guys and ask the question, are you excited for the Dark Souls 1 Remastered? What are you guys' thoughts on this right here, man? So with that, let's get started. So, a few days ago, Namco officially announced that a Dark Souls 1 Remastered was going to be dropping later this year. Now, there had been some rumors floating about for a while, but we weren't aware of the specifics surrounding the game. So currently, what we know right now is that Dark Souls 1 Remastered is coming to all the major platforms and will be released on May the 25th of this year. Now, in terms of performance, there seems to be some differences between all the platforms, with the base Xbox One and PS4 versions running at 1080p 60 FPS. The Xbox One X and PS4 Pro versions will be upscaled to 4K 60 FPS. The PC versions will of course have native 4K 60 FPS, assuming your system can handle it, and the Switch version will run at 1080p 30 FPS when docked and 720p 30 FPS in handheld mode, so the frame rate is the same no matter what. It will also feature a dedicated server with a 6-player online mode, and the DLC will be included. Lastly, it will cost around $40, and I'm not too sure if PC players who already own the game will either get a discount or get it for free, kinda like what happened with the Skyrim Remastered a few years back. So we'll just have to wait and see, right? So once I heard the news on all this, man, I was like, okay, you know, that's cool. I was kind of excited about this. I will say though, man, I am very interested to see what changes or improvements are made moving forward, man, because goodness gracious, the frame rate in some of these areas were awful, man. And going back and recently playing Dark Souls 1 on the 360 made me realize how bad it ran in certain areas and just how clunky it felt overall, especially after having played Dark Souls 3 for so many hours. When you go back, you could really feel the difference, man. And that's the thing about remastering games, man. I always have mixed feelings about this. I talked about this before, man, because on the one hand, I find the majority of the time for them to be totally unnecessary, like nothing but a cash grab, man, and a quick way to get funds. Hell, they'll try to remaster a game that just come out last week if they could. Ridiculous, right? And then there are instances where it's totally legit, like if a game is really old, hadn't aged too well, questionable mechanics that could be improved, etc. Games like that are reasonable candidates for getting remastered. For example, man, one game I wouldn't mind seeing remastered, and I mentioned this before, but the original Mass Effect. It's been about 10 years since that game launched. The cover mechanics were really rough, and they had some other issues as well too, man. So I think that would be a reasonable candidate for getting remastered. Now we've heard some rumors about that potentially happening. I mean, this is EA we're talking about here, right? EA would remaster Battlefront 2 if they could, right? So I would be shocked if at some point we don't see that go down, if we don't see that happen, man. Another game I wouldn't mind seeing is Demon Souls. I would love to see a Demon Souls remastered or Demon Souls on PC, but I'm not too sure who owns the IP, so that could be kind of tricky bringing that to fruition. But I hope one day it does happen, man. So, however, some of these games, they don't deserve to be remastered in my estimation, and that's why I'm somewhat conflicted about this. And just taking the temperature online, overall sentiments seem to be mixed about this, man. Some say that they can't wait to play Dark Souls on the go and that they're just excited to finally be able to play it in 60 FPS. And some were also saying that resources shouldn't be wasted on an older game, man, and that FromSoft should be looking ahead and looking forward. Though I will say no, that most of the time when a game is remastered, usually an outside third-party company handles the development, which seems to be what's happening in this case. But it also brings to mind, if that's the case, man, what changes will they actually be able to implement? Like, what things will they be able to fix? So I'm really intrigued about all that. So man, to answer my question, man, I would say that overall, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this, man. I'm excited to finally be able to play this 4K 60 FPS as well, too. That sounds kind of cool. I would have been more excited for Demon Souls, but you know, I'll take the original Dark Souls one. I mean, but Demon Souls, let me tell you, I definitely would be hyped up for a Demon Souls remastered or Demon Souls on PC. But the original Dark Souls getting remastered, you know, I'll live with that, man. That's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I really appreciate the level design, finding all the little shortcuts, the intricacy about the way things were laid out, man. The variety of the environment was also impressive, and it was really cool seeing how everything was interconnected together, man. So it's hard for me not to have an appreciation for Dark Souls 1. So while I might dislike or even despise in some instance most remasters, I can't help but like this right here. So folks, that is pretty much that, man. I just wanted to talk with you guys and ask the question, are you excited for the Dark Souls Remastered? Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. As always, I appreciate the support. And with that there, fellas, man, I guess I will see you guys in the next video.